Hello everybody, welcome to Guitar Jambo, episode number 10. Hope you're all hanging in there. We're hanging in there over here. Everybody's hunkered down. Just please stay safe, stay home, and again, we'll get through this and get out on the other side, and hopefully sooner than later. So everybody please stay safe. With that being said, Guitar Jambo, episode number 10. What I have for you today is badass, all right? This guitar right here belongs to a friend of mine, John Ackendorf, and John is a huge Joe Bonamassa fan, and he has a bunch of all the Joe Bonamassa models that Epiphone has put out, and some Gibsons as well, and I've had the pleasure of playing a lot of these guitars. So this particular guitar right here is a Epiphone 355 Joe Bonamassa model, modeled after a Gibson 355. And as you know, this guitar right here, Chuck Berry was, probably the one who made a Gibson 355 the most famous. That's the one you see Chuck Berry playing the most. And he's going to come up again in another Guitar Jambo episode. But a Epiphone 355 Joe Bonamassa model. Really amazing guitar. Semi-hollow guitar, but it has a solid wood block in the center. It's a heavy guitar. So one would think it would be light being semi-hollow, but it is not. It's a heavy guitar. This guitar has a Bigsby tailpiece on there, and I know you've all seen these Bigsby tailpieces before. Neil Young has one on his black Les Paul. That's his famous black Les Paul. So a Bigsby B7 tailpiece. Also, which is a really cool feature, it has a Vibramate string spoiler tailpiece on there, which, as you can see, if you can zoom in on that V, that's where you put the ball end of the string and it goes down underneath. A really easier way to string up a guitar with a Bigsby tailpiece, because usually a Bigsby, you have to put it in and it goes around this thing here, and it's just a real pain in the ass to restring a Bigsby. So this makes it a lot easier. This has two Alnico 2 Pro Bucker humbuckers in it. They sound fantastic, right? These two pickups here. Also has a ebony fretboard. So when you see the darker wood like this on the fretboard, most of the time it's rosewood, but when it's darker like this, it's ebony. Les Paul Customs have an ebony fretboard, I believe. Just an amazing wood to use for a fretboard. Reminds me of a song. Ebony and ivory. No, I'm not going to do that. That's nasty. Maybe again. No. We won't do it. Live together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano. Oh Lord, why don't we? So an ebony fretboard there. And what else does this thing have on it? Again, this is just badass. I've used this in the last couple months. I've used it at a couple of the symphony shows that we've done in the past. Last one being, what date was that, V?
Ooh.
God, it was just about a month and a half ago. Right?
Was it January?
No, it was February. February 28th. Strictly Hip sold out at the First Ontario Performing Arts Center in St. Catharines with the Niagara Symphony Orchestra. Amazing. So played this for that. I also played this back in November at the Sold Out Struggle show at Babeville. And what did I use it for on that show, V? I used it for Worried Sick from the my first record, and I used it for a version of Badge by Cream or Eric Clapton. I think I spit. I don't know if you saw that. Wouldn't want that to happen out there today. I think it's landed on this cymbal here. But so a Epiphone Joe Bonamassa 355, amazing guitar. John Ackendorf, thank you so much for letting me use some of your instruments. They're amazing. That's it for Guitar Jambo episode number 10. As you can see, I've got the Lance Diamond shirt on, a tribute to Lance. Sometimes I don't have enough coffee before I do this. Lance Diamond, Western New York Buffalo legend. Denny, my drummer in the Struggle, drummer in Clear, used to play with Lance for a number of years. And you know what? Sorry about some of these shirts you've seen in the episodes, that they're pretty wrinkled. A lot of them are at the bottom of the drawer. And So Vito always tells me after the fact, like, man, it looks like shit. It's wrinkled, and makes me think of my manager, Rich Brown, Tommy T, management team, Most Wanted management. Back on the road in the clear days, I would wake up in the hotel room and there would be Rich like ironing. He'd be ironing his clothes, and I'd be like, what are you doing, dude? Really? I mean, like, really? You're ironing? Anyway, love those guys. Love you, Rich. Epiphone 355, Joe Bonamassa, fantastic, bad ass. See you for episode number 11 Monday. Be safe, everybody.